Hi, this is Emily,
And this is Helen.
presenting you
Hello Audio,
where every 2 weeks,
we are showing you the best entrepreneurs for music, audio, and tech.
and a huge thanks to Leo, who's producing this podcast for us.
Hello Audio by The Venue Berlin.
Hello and welcome to Hello Audio, a podcast by The Venue Berlin. My name is Emily and this is episode number 3. Today for our after-work session, we are with ZEBRALUTIon to discuss the future of digital distribution of music. And I am welcoming in the studio with me Mr. Kurt Thielen. Welcome.
Hi, very nice to be here.
And nice to meet you. If we can just start briefly, if you would like to introduce yourself and what ZEBRALUTIon is.
I'm a music industry veteran. I started working in a record shop in 1978, so that's quite a while. And funnily enough, in my old age, I'm running a digital distribution company for music, audiobook, podcasts. That's a fairly new development. And we are around since 2003. We were the first independent digital music distributor in Europe. So we're doing it for quite a while. And very successfully, and it's something which is a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, so 2003, I guess you were one of the very first ones to go this route. Why did you see the need to use this model this early on?
Well, I ran a record company called Rough Trade for 20 years in Germany, and after that, I became a consultant for Vodafone in Germany. We introduced the digital download on mobiles. We were first to do that at the time. And there was 3.5 people at Vodafone taking care of the music business. So I thought and they were talking about let's do deals with the majors only, because then we have 80% of the repertoire, because that's only 5 companies and we can't deal with all the independents at the time. Everybody, nobody wanted that, but they didn't know what to do. So I thought, well, I'll do what I've done before. I distribute independents. I've done it physically with Rough Trade. So now we'll do it digitally. And I just went to all my friends and said to them, you're not doing anything digitally, so I'll do it for you. Sign here on the right, left, bottom of a page, and they did.
Yeah, so I'm assuming in the last, how long has it been since 2003, 12 something years?
15
years
maybe.
I'm assuming it's changed a lot and you've seen it evolved and changed a lot.
Oh yeah, our main source of income in 2004 when we really went live was ringtones. So that is incredible nowadays, but Yamba was our biggest customer at that time and the biggest source of income. So that has completely changed.
Sure. And how do you see you can support artists with those changes?
Well, when I look at what happened over the last not only 15, but maybe 25 years, the biggest problem artists, labels, and everybody in the industry had was piracy. That was an unsolved problem until the streaming services came to the party, really. And there's still a lot of piracy and there's still a lot of stuff going on. But ever since there's a legal alternative, the markets are growing again. And that's why I totally support the streaming services and defend them against all the stuff which is talked about, because I really think we would be in terrible shape otherwise if they wouldn't be around. This is really what changed the game. Obviously, in between downloads was really important, but I think Germany is a funny market because we still have such a high physical percentage, although it's going down rapidly now as well. But this is the second biggest physical market in the world after Japan, of all places. Yeah, in Japan they apparently don't have bad telephone lines and no Wi-Fi. I don't know why. So they buy CDs. But the thing is that we only with the streaming services the game changed and people got more money out of it. And there's still a long way to go. But if you look at Germany having, as a percentage of population, half of the subscribers than the Netherlands, for instance, or a quarter of Sweden, but Sweden is a different ball game there. There's still way to go, but there's still a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's funny because it's part of my notes here that Germans are fairly slow to adapt to new digital trends. I guess they're rather skeptical sometimes. Does this have consequences for the business here in Germany?
Yeah, obviously, like everything is much slower in Germany, but that's not only with music. Sky in the UK has 11 million subscribers, I believe. In Germany, I don't know exactly, but I think it's under 5 million with a similar recipe of programs, But the Germans don't like to subscribe that much. So I think it's all fault of a Bertelsmann book club in the 50s and maybe Yamba. I
think it's changing with the younger crowd, the millennials.
Netflix and Spotify and Apple Music and all these people are definitely changing that now. It is a totally changing scenario. But for us, like the upside of it is, as I said, like if people are slow in changing, we still have a lot of potential. So that's the upside.
For sure. And what differentiates ZEBRALUTION from other digital distributors?
Well, one thing which is very specific to us is that a large chunk of our business is audiobooks. We take audiobooks to the streaming services, and we more or less invented that. We took audiobooks to Napster in 2010, so we're doing that for a while already, together with one German publisher, Basta Lübbe, and we're working with all the German publishers more or less now. So that's a great thing. I think the other thing which differentiates us is that we are totally a music company. Like everybody comes from a music industry background. We are not very tech. We are much more marketing and contacts. And because we are around for a long time, we are very well connected. The funniest example lately was when Oliver Schusser became the head of Apple Music worldwide now. And like we existed before iTunes came to Germany or to Europe at all. So I know Oliver since he set that up. So I wrote to him and congratulated him, and he answered back, now you have a hot connection to Cupertino as well. Isn't that great? I said, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to hear.
You did mention podcasting also earlier.
Yeah, that's a fairly new thing. Like we were trying to do this for a couple of years, but we have been part of Warner Music for 10 years. We had sold the company in 2007. We bought it back in 1st of April 2017, and then had more freedom to do other thing, which is not exactly core music business, but related. But for us to come from audiobook distribution to podcast is a very short way, because the two things are very connected. So like if you look at any statistics, people who listen to podcasts are much more likely to listen to audiobooks as well, and the other way around. So for us, it was something very logical. I think it's a brilliant challenge because, like, obviously there's so many podcasts around, so few people who can live off it. It's a bit like the music industry a while ago, but there's so much creativity and so much potential, and that's something we definitely want to be part of. And this will be the first time we'll go into creation as well. Like we'll be producing podcasts as well. All the other aspects were always distribution. Now we definitely want to work with creators and get own stuff produced with them.
Music related, or it could be?
It could be anything. Like music related makes totally sense, but our very first podcast will be an audiobook podcast. So because that's so natural.
Sure, amazing. So you once were part of Warner Music, and now you're fully independent, correct? So why did you make this step, and what's your general view on major labels right now?
Well, we did it because we had the chance, and that thing has a long history. Like when Universal bought EMI 5 years ago, I believe now, they gave something to Warner Music, the Parlophone label with Coldplay and Kylie at the time, and then Warner gave some of the value to the independent sector, so like made a deal with the independent sector, so that everybody somehow benefited from it, and nobody went to the Brussels Competition Commission. And that was our chance to buy the company back. And that's what we did, because we totally believed that the business can still grow and that we have a unique position in this market. And it was just like a fun decision. 4 guys like buying their business back, 3 original founders, and 1 label had more. So all old friends. And so we decided to go that route. I still have an excellent relationship with Warner Music. We got along really well. It was very amicable split. I'm totally convinced there's room and need for independence, because the variety of music always comes from indies, and the majors always have obviously their priorities which they have to push through, and that's something. I have a lot of friends at majors. I'm not a major company hater, but I think that they are doing a different business from indies.
So even if you're not a technological company, are there any new technology that you would like to implement into ZEBRALUTIon?
Obviously what we do involves a lot of technology. Like, it's just that this is not our first focus for marketing and creative aspects are. But the thing is that what we are putting into action right now is a big data analysis program, which we work on with an English company and developing further, where you can see, especially streaming results, like obviously the obvious things like who are the people, what is their age, where they're coming from, male, female, all that. But as well, like, where did they listen to the track, which playlist, what did they do next? A lot of really interesting information for the music business. And we've just rolled that out to our labels, and they love it. They absolutely love it, because it gives them a lot of information they were really dying to get for. And the next step is that we'll be changing the program and rolling it out for the audiobook publishers as well, who have much less information about their customers than the music labels. So they'll be very happy about that too.
Cool. And so you've seen things change a whole lot in the last 15 years. How do you think music consumption will change from now on?
Well, when you look at the figures, obviously streaming is becoming stronger and stronger. Downloads are going down, physical sales are going down, and I think that trend will continue. I think it will become difficult for radio to some extent, because like when, especially people would like some background music, but smart speakers where you can say like, play my playlist, or in the car where you don't just turn the radio on, but you look what do I want to listen to from my mobile over the car stereo. That'll make it more difficult for radio station. I think they'll get much more specialized. But general radio station, we play everything, the 70s, 80s, 90s, which is really boring as well. I think they'll find it very hard. I think that well curated radio stations will do fine, but like there's way too many radio stations which don't distinct themselves as enough from the crowd.
And one last question: what's your favorite track right now?
What is my favorite track? Pick Up by DJ Cozy.
Oh, I'll have to listen to that. I have no idea. I think that's it. Thank you so much, Kurt. Again, this was Kurt Thielen from ZEBRALUTIon. If you would like to take part in one of our after-work sessions, you can check what's going on our Facebook page. We are at The Venue Berlin. Thanks to Melodrive for the jingle. This was Hello Audio. My name is Emily, and we'll see you soon for another episode.
Hello Audio by The Venue Berlin.